Maya Arinzi's hands were shaking as she pressed a clean handkerchief against the stranger's wound, watching his blood soak through the fabric in seconds. The alley reeked of copper and decay, shadows pooling in doorways, and somewhere in the distance, footsteps echoed against concrete. She'd been cutting through behind Hongdae's shuttered nightclubs, taking her usual shortcut home from the late-night meeting with a difficult client. Seoul at 3 a.m. was a different city. Sounds sharper, danger lurking in places daylight made benign. Then she'd seen him, collapsed against weathered brick, designer suit soaked black-red, face drained to ash. For 3 heartbeats, Maya thought he was already dead. Then his chest moved, shallow and labored. Her sister Grace's voice echoed in her head. All those emergency protocols drilled into her during family dinners when Grace would quiz her relentlessly between bites of jollof rice. You never know when you might need to save someone's life, Maya. Pay attention. Maya's hands were already moving, checking for a pulse, assessing the damage before her brain caught up to the danger. Gunshot wound, lower abdomen, no exit wound, massive blood loss, no hospital. His voice was barely a rasp, but his hand shot out with surprising strength, gripping her wrist. His eyes snapped open, dark, intense, burning with desperate focus. They'll find me. Kill you. No hospital. You'll die without medical attention. I'll die faster in a hospital. Please, help me or leave me. Don't call anyone. Every instinct screamed at Maya to run. She was an architect, not a surgeon. She'd come to Seoul 18 months ago to escape her shattered engagement to David, to rebuild herself in a city where no one knew her story. But Grace's training was too ingrained, and somewhere beneath her terror, Maya couldn't walk away from a dying man. I need to see the wound, she said, already pulling out her phone for the flashlight. And you need to tell me your name. Cho Min-jun. He grimaced as she cut away his shirt with the little scissors from her bag. You? Maya. Maya Arinze. This is going to hurt. The wound was catastrophic. Bullets still lodged inside, bleeding profusely. She applied pressure with a clean piece of cloth from her bag, watching him go rigid with agony. How far can you walk? Not far. My apartment is 3 blocks. Can you make it? Do I have a choice? You could die here. Despite everything, he almost smiled. Funny architect. How did your bag, blueprints sticking out, also very bossy. Architects always bossy. She hauled him to his feet, shocked by the solid weight of him despite the blood loss, the expensive suit, the designer watch, the way he carried himself even while dying. This was a man used to power. They stumbled through dark streets, Minjun's weight dragging against her, his breathing growing more labored. Maya kept up a steady stream of Korean, her accent thick with urgency, telling him to stay with her, to keep moving. Twice, he nearly collapsed. Twice, she dragged him upright through sheer force of will. When they finally reached her building, Maya was soaked in his blood, her muscles screaming. The elevator ride felt eternal. Minjun slumped against the wall, eyes fluttering closed. Look at me, Maya commanded, grabbing his face. What's your blood type? AB positive. Why? Because if you need a transfusion, I need to know. Stay awake, Minjun. Her apartment was her sanctuary. Plants and books and architectural models she built for relaxation. Now she was dragging a bleeding stranger through it, lowering him onto her gray sectional, watching blood immediately soak into the fabric. Maya's hands didn't shake as she laid out supplies. They never did during a crisis. Grace had trained her too well for panic. This is insane, she muttered in English, switching languages in her stress. I'm performing amateur surgery on a stranger. Grace is going to kill me. Who's Grace? My sister, trauma surgeon, the one who taught me how to do this. Maya snapped on gloves, selected her tools. She's also going to lecture me for 6 hours about getting involved in gang violence. Smart sister? She is, which is why I should have listened to her warnings about Seoul's underworld. Maya met his eyes. Because that's what you are, isn't it? Worse, my family owns half of Gangnam, legitimate and not. Someone decided I was a problem, he stated. So now you're my problem. Sorry. He apologized. The sincerity caught her off guard. She'd expected threats, not genuine regret. I'm going in for the bullet now. This is not a hospital, and I have no anesthetic. When I go in for the bullet, you're going to feel it. Don't move. If you move, I could nick something vital and you'll die on my couch. Understood. She wiped the injury with some antiseptic, watched him go rigid but remain absolutely still. The control was impressive and terrifying. Tell me about yourself, Maya said. Distract yourself. Why? Because in about 2 minutes, I'm going to dig a bullet out of your abdomen with forceps. Minjun's laugh was pained. Born and raised in Seoul, Gangnam, the expensive parts, private schools, expensive suits, everything money could buy. Except safety. Safety is an illusion in my world. You're either strong enough to survive or you're not. Maya selected the forceps, her heart hammering. I grew up in Lagos, Nigeria until I was 10. Then my family moved to Vancouver when my dad got a position at UBC. Grace and I grew up between two worlds, Nigerian at home, Canadian everywhere else. I became an architect because I wanted to build bridges between cultures. And now you're in Seoul building bridges by saving gangsters? Apparently, that's my new specialty. She positioned the forceps. This is going to hurt. Don't move. The forceps slid into the wound and Minjun's entire body went rigid. A sound tore from his throat, raw, agonized, but he didn't thrash, didn't pull away. Sweat poured down his face, but he held perfectly still. Almost there, Maya whispered, feeling the forceps make contact with metal. The bullet came out deformed but intact, and she dropped it into a bowl with a sharp clink. She packed the wound with gauze, working quickly to clean and close it. 14 stitches, neat and a bit uneven. By the time she'd finished, dawn was breaking outside her windows. Minjun's eyes had drifted closed, his breathing deeper now, more regular. Maya sat back and looked at what she'd done. She'd saved a criminal's life, made herself complicit in whatever violence he was involved in, crossed a line she could never uncross. Thank you. His eyes opened, fixing on her. You saved my life. It's what decent people do. Not in my world. In my world, you walk past, you don't get involved. You definitely don't risk yourself for a stranger. Well, I'm not from your world. No, you're not. Something shifted in his expression. But you're in it now. The moment you decided to save me, you became part of it. Maya's stomach dropped. What does that mean? It means the people who shot me are still looking for me. If they find me here, they'll kill you too. If I leave before I'm strong enough to defend myself, they'll find me. Finish what they started. He held her gaze. I need to stay hidden a few days until I can protect myself. No, absolutely not, Maya answered, her voice firm. Do you have a choice? I'm sorry, Maya. I'm so sorry, but you're in this now. She wanted to scream, to throw him out, to call the police. But he was right. 48 hours, she said finally. Then you're gone. Agreed. But something in his eyes suggested he didn't quite believe it. Maya called in sick to work, claiming food poisoning. She spent the day monitoring Minjun's vitals, changing his bandages, trying to focus on her laptop while her mind spiraled with worst-case scenarios. Every sound made her jump. Every notification made her heart race. She'd saved a man's life, yes. She'd also painted a target on her back. By evening, she was exhausted and wired. Minjun had slept most of the day. When he woke, his eyes found her immediately, tracking her movement with predatory focus. You're afraid, he said. Of course I'm afraid. I meant afraid of me. Maya turned to face him. Should I be? No. Never. His voice was steady. I would die before I let anyone hurt you, Maya. You saved my life. That means something in my world. It means everything. I don't want to be part of your world. I know. But you are now. He shifted, wincing. The men who shot me, they were hired by the Han family, rivals who want to take over our territory. They failed to kill me, but they'll try again. Why you specifically? Because I'm the weapon. Minjun's voice went flat. My father is Cho Dae-jung. He built the family business from nothing. Nightclubs, real estate, protection rackets, smuggling. My older brother Hun-woo, he's the heir. The legitimate face. I'm the one who handles problems, the one who gets his hands dirty. You're a killer. Yes. No hesitation. I've killed people who threatened my family. I've hurt people who crossed us. I've done terrible things to maintain our power. Maya should have been repulsed. But something in his voice, a hollow exhaustion, a barely concealed self-loathing, stopped her. Do you enjoy it? No. But I'm good at it. And in my world, being good at violence is currency. His phone rang then. The conversation was rapid Korean, too fast for Maya to follow completely, but she caught enough. His people had found one of the shooters. Hold him, Minjun said. I'll deal with it when I'm strong enough. When he hung up, Maya felt sick. You're gonna kill him. Yes, just like that. No trial, no evidence. He shot me. He would have killed you if he'd found you helping me. This isn't a court of law, Maya. This is survival. That's not justice. That's revenge. Call it what you want, but it keeps my family safe. It keeps you safe. Don't put that on me. Minjun's eyes flashed with something dangerous. You chose this. The moment you saved me, you chose my life over his. That's the reality we're living in. Maya wanted to argue, but she couldn't. He was right. The next morning, Maya woke to voices in her living room. Panicked, she rushed out to find Minjun talking to a man in an expensive suit, older, silver hair, cold eyes. This is Park Jinho, Minjun said calmly. My father's advisor. Jinho, this is Maya Arinze. She saved my life. Jinho bowed deeply. Then our family owes you a debt that can never be repaid. How did you get in here? Maya demanded. I let him in, Minjun said. He brought supplies, clean clothes, medical equipment, cash. You let him in, to my apartment, without asking. Would you have said yes if I asked? That's not the point. The point is we need to discuss the situation. Det Jinho interrupted. The Han family knows Minjun survived. They're searching for him. This location won't stay secret for long. Maya's blood ran cold. What does that mean? It means we need to move him, tonight, to a secure location. Good. Get him out of here. And you need to come with us. They'll track his movements. They'll find evidence he was here. They'll come looking for you. No, I'm not going anywhere. Maya. Minjun's voice was gentle but firm. He's right. I've put you in danger just by being here. The safest place for you now is with me, where my family can protect you. I don't want your family's protection. I want my normal life back. I know, and I'm sorry, but that's not possible anymore. The weight of it crashed over Maya. She'd saved one life and lost her own in the process. 48 hours, she said, her voice shaking. You said 48 hours. I lied. Minjun met her eyes. Or maybe I was lying to myself. The truth is, the moment you saved me, you became mine to protect. And I don't let go of what's mine. The possessiveness in his voice should have terrified her. Instead, something hot and dangerous curled in Maya's stomach. Pack a bag, Jinho said. We leave in 20 minutes. The car was a black Mercedes with bulletproof glass. They drove deep into Gangnam until they pulled into an underground garage beneath a gleaming high-rise. Minjun's penthouse occupied the entire top floor. Floor-to-ceiling windows showcased Seoul's glittering skyline. The interior was minimalist elegance. This isn't what I expected, Maya admitted. What did you expect? Something darker, more threatening. I saved the darkness for business. My home is my sanctuary. He moved slowly. There are 3 bedrooms. Take whichever you want. You're safe here. Am I your guest or your prisoner? My guest. Always my guest. You can leave anytime you want. But if I leave, the Hans will find me. Yes. So I'm a prisoner. You're under my protection. There's a difference. Maya chose a bedroom with a view of the Han River, locked the door, and finally let herself break down. Silent, tears streaming, body shaking with delayed shock. She'd saved a man's life. She'd become entangled with criminals. She'd lost control of her entire existence. And the worst part? When Minjun had said she was his to protect, when that possessive edge had entered his voice, she'd felt something besides fear. Something dangerous and thrilling. A knock interrupted her spiral. Maya, I brought food. She opened the door to find Minjun holding a tray. Soup, rice, banchan. You should eat. You haven't had anything since yesterday. How's your wound? Healing. You do excellent work. She led him into the room and they ate in silence. Finally, Maya asked, Tell me about your family. About this world I'm in now. Minjun set down his bowl. My father built his empire from nothing. Started in the 80s with one nightclub, expanded into protection, smuggling, real estate, made a fortune, made enemies, made us all targets. And your mother? Died when I was 12. Cancer. Pain flickered across his face. She was the gentle part of my father. When she died, that part of him died too. He became harder, more ruthless, raised us to be weapons. There has to be a way out. Not from families like mine. You're born in, you die in, so you're stuck forever. I was stuck. Until 3 days ago, I'd accepted it. This was my life, my fate. He turned to look at her. Then I met you, and for the first time in years, I wanted something different, something more. Minjun. I know it's fast. I know it's insane, but you make me want to be someone else. Someone better. Someone who doesn't have blood on his hands. It's too late for that. Maybe. But maybe it's not too late to choose a different path going forward. His phone rang. The conversation was tense, rapid-fire Korean. When he hung up, his expression was grim. The Hans know you exist. They have your name, your workplace, everything. They're offering a bounty for information about your location. Maya's heart stopped. What? You're leveraged now. They know I care about you. They'll use you to get to me. This is insane. I'm nobody. You're not nobody to me. Minjun moved closer, crowding her space. You're everything to me. You saved my life, and I will burn down this entire city before I let them touch you. The intensity in his voice stole Maya's breath. This was obsession, not love. Possessiveness, not protection. And Maya wanted it anyway. Over the next week, Maya learned the rhythms of Minjun's world. His father visited daily. Cho Dae-jung, a man who commanded rooms just by entering them. Cold, calculating, but not cruel. He thanked Maya formally for saving his son. Minjun's brother was different. Cho Hyun-woo arrived on the 3rd day, impeccably dressed, radiating controlled fury. You brought a civilian into this, he hissed at Minjun in Korean. A foreigner. Do you have any idea what you've done? I've ensured my survival. She saved my life. And now she's a liability. The Han know about her. Other families will hear. They'll see it as weakness. Then they'll be wrong. Will they? You've never cared about anyone before, Minjun. Now you're protecting some woman you barely know. Enough. Minjun's voice dropped to something dangerous. She's under my protection. That means she's untouchable. Anyone who comes after her comes through me. Hyunwoo's eyes narrowed. You're making a mistake. It's my mistake to make. After Hanwoo left, Maya confronted Minjun. Your brother's right. I am a liability. You're not. I am. And you're obsessed. This isn't normal. I know you saved my life when you could have walked away. I know you're brave and brilliant. I know you look at me like I'm worth saving. That's enough. It's not enough. It's not real. It's just trauma bonding. Minjun closed the distance between them, his hand framing her face. Tell me you don't feel it. Tell me you don't lie awake thinking about me. Tell me you don't want this as much as I do. Maya couldn't, because it would be a lie. His kiss was devastating, desperate, and demanding, and achingly gentle. Maya's hands fisted in his shirt, pulling him closer. He tasted like danger and desire. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, Minjun pressed his forehead to hers. I'm obsessed with you. I won't apologize for it. You're the first good thing in my life in years, and I'm not letting you go. This is crazy. Yes, but it's ours. The attack came on the 8th day. Maya was in the kitchen making coffee when the first gunshot shattered the window. Minjun was on her instantly, shielding her body, shouting orders in Korean. Armed men poured into the room, his security team. Stay down, Minjun commanded, pushing her toward the panic room. Go, now. What about you? I'll handle this. Go. Maya ran as more gunfire erupted. She sealed herself in the panic room, watching through security monitors as chaos unfolded. The Hans had sent a team, 6 men, heavily armed, moving with military precision, but Minjun's people were ready. A firefight erupted, and Minjun, despite his still healing wound, moved like death itself. Watching him fight was terrible and beautiful. Every movement economical, every shot finding its target. This was who he really was. The weapon his family had forged. The fight lasted 8 minutes. When it ended, 4 of the Han soldiers were dead, 2 had fled, and Minjun's penthouse was destroyed. Maya emerged from the panic room to find Minjun standing amid the carnage, gun still in hand, face splattered with blood. His eyes found hers immediately. Are you hurt? He demanded. No. You? I'm fine. We need to move now. They'll send more. Where? My family's compound. It's the most secure location we have. Want to find out what happens next? Keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe and press the like button if you're enjoying this story. They left within the hour, surrounded by armed guards driving through Seoul like a presidential motorcade. Maya sat beside Minjun, watching him press a hand to his wound. You tore your stitches, she said. I know. Let me see. Later. Now, Minjun, you could be bleeding internally. He finally relented. Maya examined him in the moving vehicle, yet her hands steady despite her fear. One stitch had torn completely, the wound bleeding but not catastrophically. You need proper medical attention. I need you safe. Nothing else matters. I'm starting to believe you mean that. I do. I've never meant anything more. The Cho family compound was a fortress disguised as a traditional estate. High walls, sophisticated security, guards everywhere. Minjun's father met them at the entrance, his face carved from stone. This ends now. Daejung said, the Hans have gone too far. We respond with overwhelming force. Father, no discussion. They attacked you in your home. They've declared war. We finish this tonight. What does that mean? Maya asked. Daejung turned his cold gaze on her. It means we eliminate the Han leadership. All of them. That's mass murder. That's survival. Welcome to our world, Maya see. Minjun pulled Maya aside. I need you to stay here tonight. Don't leave the compound. Where are you going? To finish this. To make sure you're safe. You're going to kill people. Yes. Minjun, I know how you feel about it, but this is who I am, Maya. This is what I do, and tonight I do it to protect you. He kissed her then, hard and possessive, before walking away. Maya watched him go, feeling like she was watching him walk into hell. The next 6 hours were torture. Maya paced her luxurious prison, watching the clock, imagining every terrible outcome. Minjun dead. Minjun arrested. Minjun becoming the monster she'd been trying to convince herself he wasn't. When the door finally opened at 3 a.m., Maya spun around to find Minjun standing there, alive, covered in blood, eyes empty. Is it done? She whispered. It's done. The Han leadership is gone. You're safe. How many? Does it matter? Yes, it matters. 7. I killed 7 men tonight. His voice was flat. They're dead and you're safe. That's all that matters. Maya crossed to him, taking his blood-covered hands in hers. This is who you are. Yes, you're a killer, a criminal, everything I should run from. Yes, and I love you anyway. God help me, I love you. Minjun's face cracked, emotion flooding through the emptiness. Maya, I don't understand it. It makes no sense. But I can't watch you walk away anymore. I can't pretend this is temporary. You've ruined me for normal, Minjun. He kissed her with desperate urgency, his hands shaking as they framed her face. I love you. I'm obsessed with you. I would destroy the world to keep you safe. I know. That's what terrifies me. That's also what makes me feel safer than I've ever felt. They made love that night with something like desperation. It was rough and gentle, tender and possessive, everything they'd been holding back. Afterward, lying in Minjin's arms, Maya asked, "What happens now?" "Now you stay here, under protection until every potential threat is eliminated." "That could take months." "Then it takes months. I'm not risking you. I have a life, Minjun, a job, an apartment." "Not anymore. Your apartment is compromised. Your workplace is a liability. Your life is here now, with me." The possessiveness should have angered her. Instead, Maya felt something settle inside her chest. "Okay, okay, okay, okay. I'll stay. I'll be yours. But Minjun, you have to promise me something. Anything. Promise me you'll try to leave this life. Not today, not tomorrow, but eventually. Promise me you'll try to become someone who doesn't have blood on his hands." Minjin was quiet for a long moment. "I can't promise that. This is all I know." "Then learn something different. With me. For us." "You're asking me to give up everything. I'm asking you to gain something more. A life that's yours, not your father's. And if I can't, if this is all I am, then I'll love you anyway. But I need you to try." Minjin pulled her closer. "For you, I'll try. I don't know if I can succeed, but I'll try." The next morning, Minjin made a declaration that shocked his entire family. He announced his intention to step back from the family business, to transition out over the next year. Hinwoo was furious. "You're abandoning us, choosing a woman over family. I'm choosing a life over survival. There's a difference. Father, tell him this is insanity." But Dae-jung was quiet, studying Minjin with unreadable eyes. Finally, he spoke. "Your mother wanted this for you. Before she died, she made me promise that if either of you ever wanted out, I wouldn't stop you." "You never told us that," Hyunwoo said. "I never thought either of you would want to leave. I was wrong." Dae-jung turned to Minjun. "If you do this, you do it right. 1 year transition, train your replacement, ensure stability, and you never speak of the family business, ever. 1 violation and the protection ends." "Agreed." "Also, you marry her, properly. If she's the reason you're leaving, make it official." Minjun looked at Maya. "Is that what you want?" Maya's heart hammered. Marriage. To a man she'd known 2 weeks. "Yes," she heard herself say. "Yes, it's what I want." The year that followed was the hardest and most transformative of Maya's life. She moved into Minjun's new home, a modern hanok in Bukchon that she'd helped design. She returned to work part-time, though her firm was wary of her now. Minjun spent his days training Jae-sung, a distant cousin with the ruthlessness needed for the role, but also the intelligence to modernize operations. He spent his evenings with Maya, learning to be someone other than a weapon. But it wasn't easy. There were nights when he woke up screaming, trapped in nightmares, days when the pull of his old life was overwhelming. The real test came 6 months in. A rival family, the Lees, decided to test the Cho's strength by targeting Maya's biggest project, a museum commission that was her career-defining work. They sabotaged equipment, threatened workers, sent Maya graphic photos of what they'd do to her. Maya found Minjun in their home office, gun on the desk, phone in hand, every muscle tense. "I can end this in 1 night," he said. "I know where they meet, who leads them. I can make them disappear. Or I let your project be destroyed. Let them win. Prove I'm weak." Maya sat beside him, taking his hand. "Or we find a third option. We go to your father. We let the family handle it while you stay clean. They're threatening you, Maya. Sending you photos of..." His voice broke. "I can't just do nothing." "You're not doing nothing. You're choosing to stay on the path we agreed on. You're trusting your family to protect us. What if they can't? What if the only way to keep you safe is to be what I was? Then we'll face that when it comes. But we try this first. Please, Minjun." He looked at her, anguish in his eyes, before finally nodding. "Okay, we do it your way." Dae-jung handled the Lee situation with cold efficiency. Their leadership was arrested on tax fraud charges he'd been holding as insurance. The family's assets were frozen, the threats ended, and Minjun stayed clean. When Maya's museum opened a year and a half after the night she found Minjun bleeding in that alley, it was the proudest moment of her career. The building was a masterpiece, traditional Korean architecture reimagined with modern materials. Minjun stood beside her at the opening gala, wearing a tailored suit, his hands steady in hers. No longer the Cho family's weapon, just a man supporting his wife's dream. "You did this," he whispered. "All of this. We did this. You kept me safe while I built it. I kept myself clean while you built it. That's the real achievement." Across the gallery, Maya caught sight of Grace, who'd flown in from Vancouver with their father. Her sister raised a glass and a toast, mouthing words Maya could read. "You were right. I was wrong." But the peace was fragile, and they both knew it. The real crisis came on a cold November night, 2 years after Maya had saved Minjun's life. She came home from a site visit to find their house dark, the security team gone, and Minjun sitting in the living room with a gun on the table and murder in his eyes. "They took Jinho," he said flatly, "a new family, Chinese. They're moving into Seoul, and they took Jinho to send a message. They want to meet with me. with the old me. Maya's blood ran cold. Jinho had become a friend over the past 2 years. What did your father say? That it's my choice. I've been out for a year and a half. I'm a civilian now. He can't order me to respond. But he also can't negotiate from strength if they think the Cho family has gone soft. What do they want? Me. They want me to come to them, alone, unarmed. They want to humiliate the Cho family. It's a trap, obviously. You can't go. I have to. Jinho saved my life a dozen times. I owe him. Maya crossed to him, taking his face in her hands. Then we find another way. There is no other way, Maya. You know that. Eventually, something like this would happen, that I'd have to choose between the life we're building and the man I used to be. So choose us. Choose this life. And let Jinho die? Let him be tortured because I was too selfish? The anguish in Minjun's voice broke Maya's heart. Let me come with you, she said. Absolutely not. Then take your family. Take security. If I bring an army, they'll kill Jinho immediately. This has to be me alone, proving I'm still the man I was. Or, he paused, or I prove I'm not. I go in as a civilian. I negotiate like a civilian. I show them that the Cho family has evolved. They'll kill you. They'll kill both of you. Maybe. Probably. But it's the only way forward that doesn't mean becoming what I was. And I can't be that person anymore, Maya. You've changed me too much. I'd rather die trying to be better than live as a monster again. Maya felt tears stream down her face. I don't want you to die at all. I know. But this is the cost of the life we chose. He pulled her close. If I don't come back, everything I have is yours. My father will honor that. You'll be safe, and you'll move on eventually. You'll live the life you were meant to live. The life I'm meant to live is with you. I love you, he whispered. You saved me in every way a person can be saved. Whatever happens tonight, know that. Minjun. But he was already moving, already preparing. Maya refused to stay home. She couldn't go with Minjun to the meeting, but she could wait at the Cho family compound with Daejung, monitoring the situation. Daejung met her at the door, his face grave. He's making a mistake. He's trying to do the right thing. The right thing gets you killed in our world. Then maybe your world needs to change. You sound like my wife, Minjun's mother. She said the same thing until the day she died. Daejung's voice softened. She'd be proud of him, of what he's become. Will you back him up? If it goes wrong, I have teams positioned 2 blocks away. If he signals distress, we'll go in with overwhelming force. But Maya, if we have to do that, it means we've failed. It means the new way doesn't work. All the progress he's made ends. I know. They waited in tense silence, watching security feeds, listening to comms chatter. Minjun was wearing a wire, audio only. When he entered the meeting location, an abandoned factory in Incheon, Maya heard his voice, steady and calm, greeting his captors in Mandarin. I'm Cho Minjun. You have something of mine. I'm here to negotiate its return. The legendary weapon of the Cho family. The voice that responded was amused, mocking. You look different than I expected, softer. They say you've retired, become civilized. I've evolved. There's a difference. Evolved. Interesting word. So tell me, evolved Cho Minjun, what do you offer for your man's life? What do you want? Territory. 3 districts in Gangnam. Clubs, protection rackets, smuggling routes. All Cho holdings. Sign them over and your man walks free. Want to know what happened next? Did Minjun sign over the holdings or he did something else? Was he able to save his friend without going back to his old ways? Ensure you watch the finale episode to find out. Like this video, comment which part of the story was your best part, subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you'll be the first to know when a new story drops. Sarangi.